In this video, we are going to cover frequently asked Spring Boot interview question. So the first question is, can we generate a WAR file from Spring Boot application? We all know Spring Boot generate a executable jar. Can we generate WAR file? So the answer is yes, we can generate a WAR file. So the counter question which you can expect is, how can we generate? So I'll show you the practical. For that, we will move on to the Spring tool suite. So I have created one dummy project. Okay, so for that I will quickly go to the pom.xml file. Okay, so here I will add one tag called packaging. Okay, so here I have added the tag packaging and I'll add the var. Okay, after this we will save it and we will refresh the project once. After refreshing the project, we will run the command maven install. Okay, it may take 20 to 30 seconds to run this because it will run all the test cases which are present in your application. Okay, and yes, the build got success. Now we will see, has it definitely produced the WAR file or not. So for that, we will go to the System Explorer. Click on Show in System Explorer, sample, target, and yes, here we can see the WAR file. Okay, now we will move on to the next question. So the next question is, can we replace the embedded Tomcat server in Spring Boot? Yes, we can replace the default Tomcat server with any other server. Okay, so we all know, like in the starter web dependency, we have three embedded servers inside that. Like one is Tomcat, then Jetty, and then we have the Undertow. Okay, so the default will always be the Tomcat. Now here he is asking, can we replace Tomcat with any other web server, like with the Jetty or Undertow? Okay, so for that we will move on to the Spring tool suite. Okay, so here is the pom.xml file. I will remove this packaging var. Okay, now here I will uncomment, then after uncommenting I'll tell you what exactly I have done. Okay, so this is our, in the pom.xml, this is our dependency of the starter dependency web. Okay, inside this we have three web server, right? So now I'm going to exclude the default Tomcat server out of this. Okay, and I'm adding the dependency of Jetty here, that I don't want the default Tomcat server, I want the Jetty. Okay, now we will save this and we will start our application, like run as Spring Boot application. Okay, so yeah, if you see here, Jetty started on port 8080. Okay, so here we have disabled the default Tomcat server and we have moved on to the another server, Jetty server. Okay, now we will move on to the next question. So the third question is, can we disable default web server in Spring Boot application? Okay, so default web server, I will explain you the question. So here they are saying like the default server, like there are three server, embedded server, right? So all those three are the web server, like the Tomcat, Jetty, and Undertow. These are web server. So he's asking, can we disable the web server and use the application server like the WebSphere or JBoss? So the answer to this question is yes, we can disable the web server. So now he will ask how we can do. So for that we have to add this dependency in the application.property file. Okay, I will quickly show you how we can do it. I will just copy this dependency and I'll move on to the Spring tool suite. Here first we have to remove the dependency which we added in the last question, right? This Jetty we have to remove. Okay, and I will put this as the exclusion because I don't want the default web servers, right? So we will close this. Now we will go to the application.property. You will find it under the resources. I have copied this dependency, this property file. So here it is saying that web application type none, that I don't want any web application server here. Okay, so we will save this and we will refresh the application. Now we will start the application, Spring Boot app. Yeah, here if you see, it has started the application, but it has not started any server. Like in the previous example you were seeing, right? The Jetty got started, but here nothing is started. Only the application is started, like in the old before Spring Boot or anything, like in the Spring or in the JSF or any framework, we used to start the application and we used to pass the war file to the war or jar file to the server, right? So here we will go to server. Here at this time there is no server. Okay, so we can click on this and we can add a server of our choice. Like suppose we want to add the JBoss, we'll click here JBoss, and yeah, and we can click on next and do this. Okay, so I am not going to cover this because it will make the video very long. Okay, so the intent of the question is like how can we add the application server. So that I have shown you, like after adding this property and after like excluding the Tomcat server, you can do this. Now we will move on to the next question. Okay, I will do like this, and I have removed the dependency, and here I have removed the, I'm going to add the jetty again. Okay, here I will remove the exclusion of Tomcat. So now it will run default on Tomcat. Okay, now the next question is, this we all cover, right? What is the default port on which Spring Boot Tomcat runs, and how can we change the port of server? Okay, so the default port on which Spring Boot application run is 8080. And yes, we can change the port. We can change the port by mentioning this property, I mean by mentioning it in the application.property file. Okay, for that we will quickly move on to Spring Tool Suite again. Okay, so here we have not added anything in the application or properties, right? So we will start the application now. Yes, here it has started. If you see, we have not added anything, right? So default port is 8080. Now the question he was asking, can we change the default port to some other port? Yes, we can change it. We have to add here server.port. Suppose I want to start it on 9091. Okay, I have saved this property. We will stop the server. Okay, now we will run the application again. Yes, the application is started. If you see, Tomcat started on port 9091. Okay, so in this video, these much questions I have covered. So in the next coming video, I will cover some few more practical questions related to the Spring Boot. Okay, I will try to give all you with the practical knowledge, not with the theoretical which everyone else is doing. So if you liked my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share the video with your friends. Yeah, thank you.